back in Denver. Are brought to us by Starlink. Jared, the Stars out to start the night. And Nathan MacKinnon won the opening face-off from Jack Eichel. It'll be interesting to see how MacKinnon moves, moving pretty well as he comes in on the forecheck.
Give him pause no more. I mean, he looked fabulous because he had to push, he had to jump into the stride. They need to win one game, and they need MacKinnon to be great, and it looks like he'll be able to play.
Moving very well after taking a shot on the right knee in the second period 2 days ago. John Tortorella using the exact same 18 skaters who were victorious in Game 3. Turnover, it's Barbashev, a bouncing puck, and it bounces to the blue line, skated out by Brock Nelson. And he goes after it in the corner on a line with Natchez on the right, Kadri on the left. Nelson a steal, and Kadri directed one wide. Now Natchez back to the point for Brett Kulak. It clangs around behind the cage, played back by Nelson to Sam Malinsky, and that was blocked in the slot by Barbashev. Carlson's rink-wide pass did not connect. And now it's Kulak out on defense with Sam Malinsky, the second defense pair for Colorado. Swept in by O'Connor with new line mates tonight in Waugh and Colton. Brett Burns out on defense with Josh Manson, the third D pair for Jared Bednar. O'Connor had it taken away by Dylan Coghlan, kept in by Burns, in behind the net aggressively, looking for a passing lane. Finds Manson up high, off for Waugh, out in front. O'Connor got knocked down. Manson's shot didn't get through. Vegas looked to break away had they been able to skate the puck out. Waugh now in the corner. Good pressure by the Avs in the first 2 minutes. But as it's played around, nobody at the point. And Cale Makar retrieves it at center ice. Steps into the zone by himself in white. And a good stick by Tomas Hertl to knock it away.
This looks a little bit like Game 3 where Colorado came out with great legs early.
Mark Stone drops it back. Braden McNabb. And it's tipped wide by Nick Dowd right at the top of the blue paint. And then as the puck is covered by Blackwood, some pushing and shoving along the back wall. A lot of pressure. Scoring chances at either end, but no official shots on goal yet.
Well, before Blackwood gets to really get a touch on the puck, he's going to face a dangerous chance. This puck from the point slides by, and Dowd doesn't get enough of the stick on it to firmly get this on the net. He chips it wide of the net. Heads up play by McNabb as he's throwing this to the net. He throws it on for the tip. It's wide of the net, and then Dowd, pretty heady play, tries to bank it off of Blackwood into the net. But Blackwood gets back, seals the post, and the draw will be to his left.
Blackwood essentially split time with Wedgwood in the regular season and known as the Lumberyard, with Wood in the last name of each of them. And they were a terrific tandem. John Tortorella trying to make history tonight. It would be 20 years between Stanley Cup final appearances for Torts if they win this evening. And he's the first coach to take a 3-games-to-none series lead against more than one President's Trophy winner. You think back to 2019 when Tampa Bay was far and away the best team in the National Hockey League in the regular season. They had 62 wins, and Torts' Columbus Blue Jackets swept them out of the first round.
That was even more stunning than this, as Columbus seemingly came out of nowhere to shock Tampa. Tortorella was telling us before the game what he'd like to see really tonight is more offensive zone time. Feels like they can defend better by playing better offense, a little more patient with the puck, a little bit better puck possession to try and stymie Colorado's speed.
Caden Korzak had 2 assists in that Game 3 comeback. 20 skaters have dressed for Coach Tortorella. 17 of them have a point already in 3 games. It really has been a collective effort. It's a very good team. Underachieved for much of the year due to goaltending that wasn't always terrific, but Hart returned from injury after 3 months out. He's been sensational. And Vegas has played like the team most expected they would be throughout the year. Here's Shea Theodore out on defense with Braden McNabb. Lofted into the right wing corner. And Makar was first there. He turned it over to Barbashev. Pavel Diafiev almost got tangled up with Barbashev. It's centered, hoping for Eichel. It winds up with McNabb. Theodore a one-timer. Looked like it glanced off the pad of Blackwood. And the puck got turned over by Eichel to Landeskog. Stopped in the neutral zone by Theodore. Brought back in by Landeskog. Some room for Makar. And that one snared by Carter Hart, the 27-year-old from Sherwood Park, Alberta. Time for some numbers powered by the SAP Coaching Insights app. And Ray, you mentioned it, the offensive zone time. Huge edge for Colorado there, as Tortorella referenced. A big advantage in shots, shot attempts, but in the category that counts most, 12 goals to 6 in favor of the VGK.
While each team plays a little bit different style, Tortorella would like to see those shot attempts squeeze up a little bit, where you spend more time in the offensive zone, so that takes away a little of Colorado's offensive time. They're not a high-volume team as Colorado might be. They're more of a possession team, and so Colorado probably would always have more shot attempts, but that's a big margin.
William Karlsson snapped one over the net. Rasmus Anderson pinched in and fell down. Battle for the puck at center ice. And it's Kadri, stood up by Mitch Marner.
Here's McKinnon out with Kadri and Natchez.
And here's Makar right down to the dot. Centered one. It was behind Natchez. Retrieved by McKinnon. Tried to shift away from the wall and could not. Noah Hannafin poked it away from Kadri. Then he stuck a stick in on Marner. Here's Makar. Trying to catch Vegas in a change, and he very nearly did, but he couldn't corral the pass on the first try. Theodore to McNabb. Another lob ahead. Stone's behind the defense. He's in alone. Mark Stone scores! And Vegas leads 1-0.
In back-to-back games for Mark Stone. Power play goal in game 3. This long lead pass, it's like a quarterback throwing to a receiver. This thing was perfect. Stone didn't have to slow down. He caught it, laid it down, and tucks it around the left leg of Mackenzie Blackwood. And the Vegas Golden Knights have a 1-0 lead. Their captain is the scorer.
His 5th of the playoffs, as Ray said, 2nd in a row. The other 4 are all in the power play. Here's Hertl now. Stopped by Burns. Theodore with some room. Wrists it. And it winds up in the corner with Stone. 41st career playoff goal as a Golden Knight for Stone, adding to his franchise playoff record. It's his 81st career postseason point as a member of the VGK, also the franchise mark. Here's the counter by the former Vegas Golden Knight Waugh, but he got stopped on the rush. Korzak knocked down by Waugh. Parker Kelly there. Now Jack Drury for Colorado. Sam Malinsky had his stick lifted, managed to get it in the corner. Kelly taken to the wall by Korzak. Waugh and Coughlin there as well. Kelly passed it off from his knees. Drury trying to keep it in and did for a moment. But now it's Coughlin, Colasar, and Cole Smith. Smith backhanded it in. This is the 4th line. Both 4th lines outstanding throughout these playoffs. Rasmus Anderson on it. 6 minutes gone by. 1-0 Vegas. Stone from McNabb and Theodore at 4:42. Kulak tried to send McKinnon away. That didn't get through. Noah Hannafin for Jack Eichel. And he rims it around. Barbashev first there. Vegas pulled off that comeback from 3-0 down to win 5-3, despite the fact that this line, their top line, did not have a point. Eichel, Barbashev, and Dorofeev, after Barbashev was in on all 3 goals in their 3-1 win in Game 2 in Denver.
I think that's a strength of Vegas, is it's not one line, it's not one group, it's contributions up and down their lineup. And pretty good example is they've got 18 of their 20 skaters in this series have a point.
McNabb joins that group now with his first point of this series with the assist on the Stone goal. Devon Taves into the skates of Kadri, and he snapped it around. Natchez let it go by Nelson. He took a sturdy check from Brett Howden. Makar with Carlson on his tail. Nice touch by Natchez to Kadri, and it's broken up. Boy, Hanifin and Anderson rock solid defensively, especially.
A smile for Mark Stone. It's goals in back-to-back games. Great.
Taken back in by Howden. He had the empty net goal to seal game 3, giving him 10 goals for the playoffs, tied for the most among all skaters with his teammate Pavel Dorofeyev. Carlson. Howden had gone down near the blue line, then the pass for O'Connor missed. Hard hit by Colton into Noah Hanifin. Coughlin trying to get away from O'Connor. Moved it to Hanifin. Now Coughlin goes off, and Hanifin paired with his usual partner Rasmus Anderson. Burns for McKinnon. Poked away by Hurdle. He races after. Kulak just on. First to the puck.
Man, look at Vegas press up the ice. Nowhere for Colorado to cleanly break out. 5 minutes now without a Colorado shot attempt.
Think back to the beginning. That first.
Saw a little glimpse of it there, what Vegas wants to do. Get up in the play. Don't let McKinnon and crew have room to skate through the middle of the ice. They've done a really good job of making it like mud going through the middle of the ice for the Avs.
No shots the last 5 minutes. The Vegas goal, the first for the Golden Knights in the first period in this series. They rallied from behind in each of the previous 2 games. And another offside whistled against Colorado.
One thing that is sure to happen in a game like this if you're Colorado, and I've been in these games before, is you have to manage where your frustration comes. You already know you're down 3-0, of course. Everybody knows that. But the game gets short fast, and you start to, on every missed pass, every deflection, you start to feel it a little more. And for Colorado, while that mountain is in front of them, they just have to look at this little task right in front of them. Can you even this period out? Can you spend some zone time? Can you get yourself into the game so your trust and belief in yourselves doesn't fade away?
Jared Bednar said a good start would be important. He felt his team was loose. They had a very good meeting yesterday. They have a lot of self-belief. You think they would with the remarkable regular season they had, best in franchise history. Icing is called against Vegas. The Eastern Conference Final resumes tomorrow night in Montreal. Game 4 with Carolina leading 2-1. That's on TNT and HBO Max at 8 o'clock. Last night, the 5th overtime win of these playoffs for Carolina, all of them by scores of 3-2, including each of the last 2 games in that series with the Canadiens.
Last time the Canadiens won the Stanley Cup in 1993, they won 11 straight overtime games. Carolina putting together a pretty impressive run now.
Fine line, especially in the playoffs. Off the draw, Landeskog, and that's blockered down by Hart. Backhanded in behind the net by Manson. McKinnon has stick lifted by Anderson. Burns pinches in. McKinnon, little stop and go. Couldn't get it through Hanifin. McKinnon pokes it back to the line for Burns, and he missed the net. Manson and Kolasar collided. Here's some skating room for Dowd with Burns back, and a great stick by the 41-year-old defenseman, running out of time to win the Stanley Cup. Natchez in behind the net. Continues to carry before the handoff to Makar. It floats to Kadri. He centers. Bouncing puck Went past Nelson and Natchez. Here's Eichel trying to go through Taves. Eichel, a nifty move. Centers one. And Dorofeev couldn't get a shot off. Barbashev trying to power to the front. He went down. Theodore the pinch. Eichel golfed it back in a little deeper. Dorofeev to Barbashev. Barbashev felt the hit from Kadri coming. Coughlin down low. Shot by Dorofeev. Sent behind the net by Blackwood. Eichel moved it along. Kadri is there. Aggressive pinch by Korczak. It's Dorofeev again. Dug free and centered by Eichel, but only Taves in front. Korczak took it back. Dorofeev's going off. He's out of gas. Marner's on. Marner has it from Korczak. Howden joins the offense. 1-0 Vegas, trying to wrap up the series tonight. Makar broke the play up, and Colorado gets new troops on. Howden. It gets sent back for Carlson. With his first goal of the playoffs in his 8th playoff game of this season. Was the second goal for Vegas in Game 3. Hanifin put it on net. A takeaway by Howden and alone, and a good stick by Blackwood.
Man, that was sharp. He knew where there's only so much room to go. And as Howden tried to cut across, Howden took it away.
Blackwood's a big man like so many of today's goalies. 6'4", 225. 29 years old from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Back up much of his career, but Colorado gave him a big deal to be their #1 goalie. 5 years and average annual value of $5.25 million for Blackwood. He's in the net tonight. Vegas leads 1-0. The Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN, presented by Geico.